Last October, Bitcoin hit an all-time high of about $126,000. Today, as I record this, it's trading around $63,000. That is half. So which story do you believe? Bitcoin already had its run. You missed it, or the exact same as it is on a 50% discount. Both stories are on your feed right now. Both sound convincing and both are trying to make you feel something instead of think something. This video is the thinking version. No price prediction at the end. Anyone who gives you one is guessing. Instead, I'll give you the honest case that you are late, the honest case that you are early, and a 4-question test that tells you which one is true for you. Because that's the twist. Too late isn't a fact about Bitcoin. It's a fact about you. Yes, this is education, not financial advice. Let's go. Here's a strange fact. People have felt too late to buy Bitcoin at every single price it has ever traded at. In 2011, Bitcoin crossed $1 and people said the easy money was gone. In 2013, it hit 100, then 1,000. Too late, obviously. 20,000 in 2017, way too late. 69,000 in 2021, surely the top. 126,000 in 2025 October. Every one of those too late moments is lower than at least one price that came after it. And this matters. After almost every one of those peaks, Bitcoin also crashed hard enough to make the buyers feel like fools for a year or two. Both things are true at once. That's Bitcoin. The feeling of lateness comes from a mental glitch called anchoring. Your brain grabs the most dramatic number it's seen, the guy who paid 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas, the friend who bought at 400, and measures everything against it. But you can't buy in the past. Yes, it's already gone. The only question that matters is boring, and is this: from today's price with today's facts, does owning some make sense for you? So let's argue both sides properly. Let's dive right into it. So let's look at this. You're late. And I'm going to make this case properly because half of YouTube won't. First, the math of size. Bitcoin's market cap today is about $1.27 trillion. Even after a 50% drop, if you are hoping for the next 100x returns of the early days, run the market cap test we built in the previous episodes. Price times supply. 100x from here would make Bitcoin worth over $100 trillion, more than the entire output of the global economy in a year. That is not analysis, that's fantasy. The lottery phase of Bitcoin is mathematically over. People who bought in 2011 were taking a bet on an experiment nobody respected. That bet no longer exists to take. Secondly, the pain is real and recent. Whoever bought the October 2025 top is down 50% right now. And here's the brutal arithmetic of losses. A 50% drop needs 100% gain just to get back to even. Bitcoin has crashed 77 to 93% in past cycles. A further fall from here is absolutely on the table. Yeah, recovery has happened every time before, but history is a pattern, not a promise. Third, the easy narrative is gone. Bitcoin is now owned by ETFs, funds, corporations, even governments. That maturity cuts both ways. More legitimacy, but also probably more modest return for them being in the market. Assets don't move after Wall Street moves in. They grind. If you came for get rich quick, then yes, you're late. You're about 15 years late. Now let's look at case 2, whereby you're saying that you're early. So in this case, it's just as real. First, adoption. The overwhelming majority of people on earth still own 0 Bitcoin. Global ownership estimates sits in the low single digits of the population. If you believe Bitcoin becomes a normal savings asset for even a fraction of the world, the buyers who matter haven't arrived yet. You are not at the end of the story. You are in an early chapter with better infrastructure. Secondly, the rails just got built. What ETFs since 2024 mean Bitcoin now sits inside brokerage accounts and retirement portfolios. Hundreds of billions of dollars of regulated pipe work that simply didn't exist last cycle. Here in Ghana, the change is even bigger. The Virtual Asset Service Providers Act of 2025 made crypto trading legal, with Bank of Ghana and the Security and Exchange Commission licensing rolling out through 2026. And over 3 million Ghanaians already hold crypto, most of them onboarding straight from mobile money. The door you are worried is closing. It only just opened. Yes, it only just opened. And thirdly, and this is the uncomfortable one, the discount is the opportunity. Every past cycle's greatest buying windows felt like disaster. People who did well weren't the ones who bought euphoria at the top. They were the ones who bought boredom and fear. They waited years. Today's 50% off price is exactly what that window has looked like before. No guarantees. It plays out the same way. But if you secretly wish you'd bought back when it was cheap, understand that to pass you 5 years from now, this might be back when. And fourthly, nothing Nothing about the core thesis changed. 21 million coins, no printer, no off switch. The network didn't get worse at 63,000. Only the mood did. It's only a sentiments that are moving crazy. Nothing happens to the network, nothing happened to supply and demand. Yeah, I mean something happened to supply and demand. So who's right? Let's ask history carefully. Every previous too late moment eventually looked cheap. $1, $100, $1,000, $20,000, $69,000. If you had bought any past all-time high, the worst possible timing, and simply held for 4 or more years, you came out ahead in every completed cycle so far. But here's the warning attached to that history, and I refuse to cut it out. Those same buyers first sudden drops of 50 to 80% for 1 to 3 years, watching the internet declare Bitcoin dead. Most people who invested during those winters didn't lose because Bitcoin failed. They lost because they sold out of fear or because they had invested money they suddenly needed. That means their position was just too big, too much. So history's answer to is it too late is actually a different question. Can you hold through the winter? The asset has been forgiven, patience, and merciless, everything else. Which brings us to the test. So let's forget the market for a second and answer these 4 questions honestly. To decide whether you are late. Question number 1, is this money you won't need for at least 4 years? If it's next year's rent, school fees, or your emergency fund, you are not late, you are not ready. Bitcoin's timeline and your timeline have to match. Question number 2, if this drops 70% next year, would you survive it? Financially and emotionally, without selling? Not would you be happy, would you hold? If the answer is no, your position size is wrong, not your time. Question 3, are you buying a schedule or on a feeling? A fixed amount every month regardless of price, dollar cost averaging removes the timing question entirely. You buy some tops and bottoms and average through the chaos. People asking is it too late are usually really asking will I regret this tomorrow? The schedule deletes that question. None. But last, question number 4, are your expectations rented from 2011? If you need Bitcoin to 100x to be satisfied, you will make reckless decisions chasing that. If you'd be satisfied with the possibility of it meaningfully outgrowing your savings account over many years while accepting it could also underperform, or your expectations fit the asset that actually exists in 2026. So 4 yeses. Then for you, too late mostly dissolve. Yeah, it means you're early. What remains is an asset with real potential and real risk entered sensibly. Even one no, then the day doesn't matter. It's not too late, too early for you. Fix the no first. So the verdict. So is it too late to buy Bitcoin in 2026? You're late for the lottery. The version of Bitcoin, that version of Bitcoin is gone and it's not coming back. But you're right on time for the boring version, the one where scarce, unkillable digital assets slowly becomes normal, owned through licensed exchanges and ETFs and mobile money by people who size the sanely and thought in years, not short term. The lottery didn't need understanding, it needed luck. This version needs exactly one thing: patience with a plan. And unlike luck that's available to everyone watching this, the market decides price, you decide whether you're late. The market decides the price, you decide whether you're late. So now let's do a quick recap of everything we said. Everyone has felt too late at every price since $1. Anchoring is a glitch, not a signal. Honest bear case, the 100x era is mathematically over, and a 50% drop can always get worse. The honest bull case is most of the world owns none. The rails just got built, including right here in Ghana, and discounts have historically been the opportunity dressed as the disaster. And the 4-question test time: horizon, survivable size, schedule, seeing expectations, answers the title better than any prediction ever could. If you pass the test and want the safe next step, watch Bitcoin Explained in 15 minutes. If you haven't, subscribe for a new video on this channel every week. And if this video was helpful, kindly click on the like button. See you in the next one.